Hey guys. What's up? Thanks so much for joining us here on IDIOTEQ. How are you? How's Chicago? I bet you're freezing your asses off up there.
Hey! Hey!
You just got back from tour? How was it? What was the route?
The route was Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Providence, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia, Elyria, Ohio, Rockford, Illinois. Yeah, let's give them 3 faves.
Montreal.
Tell them why.
Because there were vegan spring rolls made for us. There was a golden retriever there.
True.
And house brewed beer.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
fucking
true.
awesome.
What was the name of the golden retriever?
The golden, Day-Day?
Day-Day. Yep.
Day-Day, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And super lovable, super nice. All the bands were nice. Montreal was the best.
If you're a screamo band or a hardcore band and you're thinking about, if you're in the States and you're thinking about touring Canada, do it. It's easy as shit. Like you just print out a form that says that it's a cultural exchange and they really don't give you a lot of shit, and also everyone in Canada will be super fucking nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto and Montreal both were just like the fucking biggest sweethearts on the planet. They were all so good to us, and I don't know.
Boston was also very nice to us. People in Boston made us art. That was pretty incredible.
Right.
They like painted specific art for us and Frail Body, who we were on tour with, and they were just super
For
nice
all the
all
bands
around.
that night.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah,
all
you're right,
the
every
bands
band
that night. Yeah. And it was that was a good show, man. For a Monday night, people turned out. That was a good show.
Shout out to Mike Van Buren.
Shout out to Mike.
yeah.
Mike from Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you try to lock the final arrangements inside one particular mood or subgenre, like screamo, emo violence, chaotic hardcore, etc.?
I don't even know how to fucking word this. Like, you and Justin do like the skeleton kind of. Then you like bring it to us. Well, usually just me and Miles. And I'm kind of the pickiest one in the band. So ultimately, if I feel like it doesn't sound like it's sticking to the genre, then I will kindly ask for revisions.
How did you team up with Swallow's Nest for this release, and what else do you love about Dave and Zagama Beach Records? Smile.
So originally we were actually not supposed to do a split with Swallow's Nest. We were supposed to do it with Dave's other band, Murtex. And it didn't work out for a host of reasons. And so in the end he's like, hey, I've got this new band, Swallow's Nest, that I've been working with. Would you want to do a split with them instead? And we didn't know him at the time. We hadn't heard anything. But we said yes because it's Dave Norman and Dave Norman is trustworthy. And I'm really happy we did because A, Swallow's Nest side fucking rips. B, it's extremely fucking funny to me that their single song is longer than our entire side. Dave, especially just as a person, has been our band's patron saint. No one would know who we are. If it weren't for Dave Norman putting out Funeral Designs. He's kind of the first person who believed in us as a band and possibly just willed us into existence or willed us into relevance.
Considering the unbelievably striking technical part of your songwriting, did that idea of making it complex inform how you arrange these songs? Tell us about the creative process for these new tracks.
I would say we definitely kind of go out of our way to make things sort of technical. I would say we usually write them fairly straightforward. Like we might bounce around time signatures, but we'll write them out pretty standard within those time signatures, and then we'll kind of go back and say like, how can we spice this up, and we'll like put some trapdoors in there, we'll lose a beat, we'll pick up a beat. It's got to still be a groove, we can't lose everybody, we can't just make full-on mathcore.
How do you feel about testing your new tunes in a live environment?
Oh, we're pretty guarded about that kind of stuff, honestly. We don't just like, hey, we wrote a new song yesterday, let's try it out tomorrow night. Like we practice the shit out of stuff before we play, mostly just because we don't trust ourselves.
Yeah, it's dope as hell because you could never tell that we practiced the shit out of it.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think when we usually play it live, like it goes fine.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're super comfortable with it.
Right, I think only because we just like,
Yeah.
we've spent the time to get fucking comfortable. Like,
Oh yeah.
we just practice it for like weeks and months, and then finally, like, I feel like half the time we've recorded the song before we play it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this on this tour, this was definitely like the first time with a couple of the songs seeing seeing any like real audiences outside of like very small Chicago shows.
Lyrics-wise, what kind of issues have you highlighted in these new tracks?
So basically, I fucking hate society.
These songs are to Loma Prieta what Algernon Cadwallader is to Cap and Jazz. Dark, fuzzy, crisp, meaty, teeming electric. Your Bandcamp listeners' comments are so right and to the point. How did you get involved with these wicked styles and extreme sonic experimentation, and what drew you to these specific spastic sounds in the first place? Tell us about your inspirations.
So my tastes went nu metal, pop punk, post-hardcore, Dillinger Escape Plan style, mathcore, scrams, pretty much.
You didn't name drop anything?
Yeah, you got.
Oh, I could.
Well, you named Dillinger.
Dillinger.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Alright. I started off with Blood Brothers, The Blood, Daughters.
So you started?
Under Oath, yeah.
Okay.
And I pretty much never grew out of that phase. I'm still there.
I really liked pop punk, and then I decided to like something else, so I liked screamo.
Honestly, influences wise, I just really want to fucking be in a band that sounds like his hero is gone, and the option is not presenting itself, so I'm in Crowning instead.
I started out listening to nu metal, Deftones. Pretty much grew into more experimental stuff like Candiria, and like weirder hardcore like Converge back in the day, while everyone was doing the tough guy stuff. And then pretty much I evolved into listening to Scrams. Ampere's my favorite band, always probably will be.
Are you already plotting a new recording?
We have a couple songs recorded. One is it's really short and spastic, really chaotic, while the other one is probably a more traditional sort of Crowning song, so it has a stupid chuggy breakdown at the end. As for what we're going to do with them, I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so apart from recordings, what's next for Crowning? Do you imagine doing more tours later this year, traveling to Europe, New Zealand, or do you have other plans or ideas?
We'll see if we're going to do an LP or an EP, or we might start a GoFundMe campaign to record with Rick Rubin. But I know that I want to tour Europe at some point. James wants to tour Mexico. I think we're lightly discussing a West Coast tour for next year.
Great, thanks so much for the quick update, guys. The last words are yours.
Thank you all for supporting Crowning. It's fucking wild that anyone gives a shit what we're doing. And I don't know, like, it's cool to be able to write music and have people come out and want to see it. All the shows on tour were way better attended than we would have ever hoped for, so, like, shit. I mean, thank you so much for letting us keep doing this and for paying attention to us and, I don't know, fucking buying Screamo t-shirts.
Fuck yeah.